Hey guys, I want to make a video talking about LP gains. I always hear people talking about saying there's a problem with LP gains in League, and I literally, not the hard facts, but I literally just got this account to Masters, so I have 3 accounts in Masters Plus, and both of these accounts started like 1 and 12 because I didn't really give a fuck. So like both of these accounts started with like 10% win rate, and then slowly it went up. There's a couple things you need to know. So first thing is there's rank, and then there's MMR. And MMR stands for matchmaking rating. It's the hidden rating that you have behind your ranks. So rank is what we see on the screen, right? We see like diamond 1 or whatever, diamond 3, right? And then MMR is the hidden rank that you actually are. And so my rank might say D2 for example, but my MMR might be D1, or maybe it's not D1, maybe it's D3, or maybe it's just D2, right? Usually it'll be around whatever your rank is, a little bit below or a little bit above. Sometimes if you go on large losing streaks, it'll be or large winning streaks, it might be a bigger discrepancy, but usually it's like one or two tiers up or down. So what you need to understand about this is your LP gains are based on your MMR. So LP gains. Maybe this is not the greatest notepad solution for this, or paint solution, but this is a key point right here. So your LP gains do not care about what rank you are, or actually they do. They care about both. What it does is it compares your MMR to the rank that you're at. So let's make a new page. If our MMR is higher than our rank, say our rank is D3, diamond 3, and our MMR is D1, what will happen to our LP gains, and losses? This will mean we will get more points for winning. This is a upwards arrow. Okay, you get the point, but yeah. This means we get more points for winning and less points for losing. So as an example, I could put here plus, I don't know, plus 22. And for a loss, we can put something like plus 12. So this is pretty good, right? For League of Legends standards, I would say 18 is a good standard for LP. So like 18 LP on a win, 18 LP on a loss. But if we have this situation right here, MMR greater than rank, then usually in every game we will get a lot of points for winning and little points for losing, right? Because what happens here is the system says, oh, our rank is D3, but actually we should belong in D1. So they give you these kind of LP gains to make it faster for you to get to D1, because you're ranked D3 but you're playing with like D1 players, right? That's the other thing, is matchmaking is based on your MMR. So this also, yeah, this dictates matchmaking as well. I don't have enough space to write it here, but when you go in op.gg and you check like who's in the match, the 10 players that are on the match, it's all based on MMR. So if I have D1 MMR, I will be playing in D1 games, which means there will be 5 D1 players around D1, right, versus 5 D1 players around, right? Or I guess 4 D1 players plus me. Plus me. because I'll be in D3, right? This is me. I have D3 rank but D1 MMR. So this is how the match will be made. I'll be in a D1 game basically because my MMR is D1. And then we can look at the opposite and say the opposite is also true. So let's go back a little. Say our MMR is lower. So say, to make this easier, say our MMR is D4. And then say our rank is D2. So there's a bigger discrepancy here. And our rank is D2. This will have the opposite effect. Because now, if you think about it from the matchmaking's perspective, our rank will be Diamond 2 according to the system, but we're playing in D4 games, right? Because remember, MMR dictates matchmaking. So even though I'm D2, all my games would be D4. So it'll be 5 D4s versus 4 D4s plus me as a D2. And this we have to kind of switch as well. But it's basically just the opposite. So we can maybe actually just swap these. So we lose a lot of points and we win very little. Why? Why do we win very little and lose a lot? Because we are ranked at D2, but our actual matchmake rating is D4, which means we're playing in D4 games. So if you check, like, I don't know, op.gg, and you see this thing, for example, here, there's a lot of blood in my matches, but say for example, like this thing tells you the average rank of a player, right? So on the example here, we would be ranked at D2, but all our games here would say Diamond 4 average, Diamond 4 average, Diamond 4 average. This tier average right here tells you what the average is of all 10 players, right? So that average would say D4. So because we're ranked D2 and we're matched with D4 players, it would punish us. We would lose a lot of points and we would win less, so that it gets our actual rank to what we're actually supposed to be at, which is our MMR. And that's basically it. I think I don't know, I think people complain too much, and I've played this game for so long and on so many different, not many different accounts actually, just a couple of different accounts, but I've like continuously ranked them up to masters basically, and I never see this problem. Like, I do sometimes get low gains, but that's just because I'm playing bad, you know. And so let's include a couple more reasons or a couple more details, and then a reason why you might be getting low LP gains. So another big thing that determines how much you win or lose. What determines how much I win or lose? I'm not gonna write, or maybe I can text it. What else determines how much I win or lose? How much LP I win or lose? So there's an extra thing you have to consider apart from MMR versus rank. The second important thing is matchmaking, which we kind of already went over, but here's the thing about matchmaking. Some games you'll get match made a little bit higher, and some games you'll get matched a little bit lower. So let's put some examples here. Say I am D2, I might get D1 average games, or I might get D2 average games, or I might get D3 average games. And usually you'll get somewhere in between, right? So you don't really get true D2 games or two D3 games or D1. Like usually you get mixed in, you know, so it's like a D1 D2 game, you know, or a D2 D3 game. But sometimes you still get like pretty much full D1 games, right? It's kind of, I guess there's just a step in the middle, right, of each one of these. So it's like D1 D2 games, full D1 games, full D2 games, then there's D2 D3 games, and yeah, you get the point. And this is just like the average rank of all 10 players in a match. So sometimes you'll get match made here, and then sometimes you'll get match made here. And here's the thing. Say our MMR and rank are around the same, right? And then rank. I'll just put an R for rank. Say our MMR and rank are around the same. What do you think would happen if we get into a D1 game and win it? Well, we're a D2 game, we're a D2 player. I guess it has to consider the team ranking as well, right? When matches are made, it not only considers your own rank, but it also considers like the teammates, your teammates' rank, right? And one team is expected to win, the other team is expected to lose. So I guess there's multiple things. Here, if we just look at our rank MMR and the match made, if we're playing in a D1 game as D2 players, we should get a little bit more LP, right? Because we're not really supposed to win this game because we're a D2 player. But then, like I said, you also have to consider like which team is expected to win and which team is expected to lose. And that'll just be which team has slightly higher MMR. And so those things also determine how much LP you win. And you can't really know which team is expected to win or lose just by glancing at things, because obviously you can't look at MMR. But just in general, like it's a general case, generally speaking, if you're a D2 player playing in D1 games, you'll get a little bit more and you'll lose a little bit less. And the opposite is also true. If you're a D2 player playing in D3 games, you should win those games. So you might lose a little bit more, and then you might win a little bit less for winning that D3 game. That's in the general case. But like I said, we have to still take into account which of the two teams is expected to win or lose. And yeah. So all these things combined determine how much LP you win or lose. And I guess the last thing I want to include is win streaks and lose streaks. Or actually the overall effect of these, fuck, I shouldn't have erased that. Okay, last thing we have to think about. Think about this arrow system right here, where sometimes you get put in D1 games, sometimes you get put in D3 games, sometimes in D2 games as a D2 player. Let's say 70% of our games are, or no, okay, let's say 60% of our games are in here. Then let's say 20% of our games are here and 20% of our games are here. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that we win 55% of these. So we win, I guess, let's put an actual number. Let's say we win 35 here out of these 60. And we lose 25 of the D2 games. Then let's say, so we win a little bit more, right? A little bit more in the D2 games. No, actually, let's put that backwards, fuck. Let's say we win a little bit less, okay? we win a little bit less of our D2 games as a D2 player. And then let's say we win like most of these. So 15 wins, 5 losses. And then let's say the D1 games is the opposite effect. So 5 wins, 15 losses. Actually, maybe let me think for a bit. I want to make the numbers add up better. Okay. Let's put a 7 here. 7 wins, 13 losses. And then, well, maybe we don't have to be exact, but the whole point that I'm trying to get at here is you might be winning. People might look at their win rate overall and they might be like, I have a 55% win rate in the last couple games or some shit. Why are my LP gains still messed up? Or have a 60% win rate in my last 10 games or 20 games. Why are my LP gains messed up? And it really is just a matter of time, by the way, that this thing will get solved. But this is one of the reasons why. You might be winning all the games that are like where you are expected to win, right? So there's the D3 games. You might be winning all those D3 games, and you might be losing all the D1 games, or most of them. And you might be even losing slightly. These numbers have to be adjusted, but this is just I can't do the math right now. But say you're slightly losing your D2 games, you're super hard losing the D1 games, and you're hella winning your D3 games. So what you have to notice here is that, remember how I said that if you're a D2 player playing in D3 games, you get a little bit less LP and you lose a little bit more? And the opposite is true for D1 games. This is what's basically happening. Even if your win rate is really high, or not really high, but it's like 60% or something in the last couple 10 games, the reason for that 60% win rate might be your D3 games, which means it makes sense why your LP gains are still bad. It's because you keep failing these D1 games right here. You keep failing these, you keep losing them. The system is bouncing you back and forth between these games to see if you can win the D1 games, and you keep losing them. So you might be winning like all your D2, D3 games, but you have to understand, if you don't win those D1 games, you're never gonna get D1. And that's what the system is doing. I think that's why a lot of times people, they might be like, oh, I have a really sick win rate in the last couple games, but I'm still getting bad LP gains. This is one of the reasons. And then the other thing is just give it time. Like I said, just literal give it time. You only need to win 50% of your games to go up in ranking. Like literally. Or 50, maybe like 51% or something. But here's the thing, like even if you follow this closely, even if you win 50%, it depends which games are in the 50%, right? Because say I have 50% win rate, but I'm winning a lot of these games, and the games that are losing are like these ones, then it doesn't matter too much that I'm losing a lot of these, because if I'm winning all of these where I'm expected to lose, then I'm getting hella LP gains. And so even if I have like 50% win rate or 40 something, what really matters is which one of those games you're winning. So this is more of an in-depth thing, but it counts. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say with this video. I think I covered everything. Yeah, I think I covered everything. So if you have any questions, comments, quotes, let me know in the description or comments or somewhere. And yeah, thanks for watching. But yeah, just to summarize everything, LP gains are fine, guys. Yeah, there's certain elos that are just kind of elo hell for a while, and you might be stuck there for a bit. But as long as you keep improving and you keep like you're staying consistently, playing well consistently, 1v9ing, you'll eventually climb. So LP gains are fine, guys. Don't make excuses, and just do your best. And yeah, try and enjoy the game. Thanks for watching. Good night. Peace.